Harihi Om, Namaste. We will take KalaBhairava asHTakam composed by Adi Shankaracharya and try to understand the meaning of this asHTakam. As the asHTakam says, this asHTakam is on KalaBhairava and this audio will be an introduction to the asHTakam. The Shiva Purana has many information on KalaBhairava, so I have taken it from Shiva Purana only. It is a story, so I will try to summarize it and also quote some shlokas from the Shiva Purana. This is actually a conversation happening between Nandishwarar and Sanat Kumara, and Nandishwarar is narrating a lot of other events. It's going on, so this is only a bit I am pulling out from Shiva Purana and sharing with you all. So here Nandishwarar is narrating it to Sanat Kumara. Once when Brahma was in the Meru Parvata, he was approached by many rishis with the desire to know what is that Param Satyam. So these rishis approach Brahma and ask him, what is that Param Satyam? Now Brahma, on being approached by the rishis like this, he is deluded by Maya. He is under the vasham of Maya, the Shiva Maya. He is under the vasham of Shiva Maya, and on being asked about that Param Satyam, Parabrahmam, and because he is under the vasham of Shiva Maya, Brahma, filled with Garvam, says, I am the Srishtikarta and nobody is greater than me. I am that Parabrahmam, I am that Param Satyam. Brahma answers like this. Now on hearing this, Vishnu is also among them. So Vishnu now gets angry on hearing this and says, this is not proper of you to say so, Brahma. I am the Purusha, right? I am that Adi Purusha. And because of my power only, you are able to even do Srishti Karyam. And I am the master of Yoga Maya, so I am the highest. So Vishnu and Brahma are fighting among themselves that they are the highest. So Vishnu and Brahma were having a mutual clash due to this Shiva Maya, and they wanted to conquer each other and find out who is the highest. So what they decide? They decide to ask Vedas. So Brahma and Vishnu say, Vedaha pramanam sarvatra pratishtha paramamitaha yuyam vadata vishrabdham kimekam tattvam avyayam. So they decide to approach the Vedas because Vedas are the pramanam everywhere. So they both approach and ask, what is that one tattvam avyayam? What is that unchanging tattvam? Tell us that. So Vedas said, I will cite the pramanams that will remove all your doubts. So edimanya vayandevau srishtisthitikarau vibhu tada pramanam vakshyamo bhavat sandeha bhedakam. Just to break your sandeha, for sandeha nivaranam, I will tell both of you what is the pramanam, what is it saying. So Rigveda uvacha yedahu paramantatvam sa rudrastveka evahi. So Rigveda is speaking first. It says that Param Tattvam is Rudra only. Certainly Rudra only, it says. Then Yajurveda speaks. Yena pramanam khalu nassa ekaha sarvadrik shivaha. So Yajurveda also says Shiva Tattvam is the highest. Then Samaveda uvacha yadbhasa bhasate vishwam sa ekas trambakaha paraha. So Samaveda also said trambakaha. Shivaha is that Param Satyam. Next Atharva Veda uvacha Tamahurekam Kaivalyam Shankaram Dukkhataf Param. So here also Atharva Veda also said that Shankara is the highest Kaivalyam. Now Brahma, who is still in the Vasham, Maya Vasham of Shiva, said, Katham Pramathanatosau Ramamano Nirantaram Digambaraha Pitavarnaha Shivayad Dhuli Dhusaraha Virupa Vesho Jatilo Vrishago Vyala Bhushanaha Param Brahmatvam Apannah Kvacha Tat Sanga Varjitam. So now when all the Vedas told Shiva is the highest, Brahma is not accepting that, and he is insulting Shiva by saying, How is that Shiva who is roaming about with his Pramatha Ganas the highest? How is that Shiva who is wearing Dik, all the Dik as his Vastram the highest? Not only that, he is Virupa Vesha, he has 3 eyes. His Rupa is not any pleasing Rupam. And then he is Jatilaha. We say in Tamil Jatamudi, his hair. He's talking about the knots in his hair. And it's not looking good. And then he travels, his Vahanam is a Vrishabha. And all his Bhushanam are all Sarpa Bhushanam. He's wearing all the serpents around him. And how can one call him to be that Parabrahmam? Now, as Brahma spoke these words, the Pranava Mantram is there, right? Pranava, on hearing these words of Brahma, and although Pranava Mantram doesn't have a Rupam, takes a Murti Rupam and speaks. In some places, it is also given that there was a Lingam that came in between the conversation of Brahma and Vishnu, and from that, the Pranava Mantra Shabdam or that Omkara emanated from that Lingam and spoke about the Mahatmyam of Shiva. And even after the Pranava Mantra or the Omkara Shabda explained the Mahatmyam of Shiva, that Shiva and Shakti Rupam are the unchanging, that Tattvam, Param Tattvam, even after this explanation, the Ajnanam of Brahma and Vishnu was still there. Their Ajnanam was not removed. That means they were still under, it was due to Shiva Maya Vasham only. Because of Sri Kantha's Maya only, they were unable to come out of that Ajnanam. At that time, what happened? Pradurasit tato jyotir ubhayor antare mahat purayan nijaya bhasa dhyava bhumyoho yad antaram. As they were speaking like this, in between Vishnu and Brahma, there was a big Jyoti. Jyotir ubhayoho antare means in between Vishnu and Brahma, Mahad Jyotihi, there was a huge Jyoti in between them, and it filled Purayan with its Jyoti, with its Prakasha, it filled the space between Dhyava Bhumyoho Antaram, the space between Swarga and Bhumi, with its Prakasha. When that Jyoti appeared in between Brahma and Vishnu, both of them, they saw a Purusha Akriti in the middle of the Jyoti. There was a Purusha Rupam in the middle of that Jyoti, and on seeing this, Brahma Prajajwalatha Kopena Brahmanah Panchamam Shiraha, his 5th Shiras, his 5th head was fuming with anger. And it was thinking, his 5th head is thinking, what is this Purusha Akriti in the middle that I see? And the Jyoti was bearing, what was that Jyoti? That Purusha Akriti in the Jyoti was holding Sarpa, Shula. And immediately Brahma understands that the Jyoti or that Purusha Akriti is none other than Rudra himself. So now Brahma says, Neela Lohita Jane Tvam Ma Bhaishish Chandrasekhara Bhalasthalan Mamapura Rudraha Pradurabhut Bhavan. So, as soon as Brahma recognizes that it is that Purusha Akriti is Rudra, he is speaking to that Akriti and saying, Hey Neela Lohita, hey Chandrasekhara, I know who you are. Tvam Jane, I know who you are. You came from my Bhalasthala only, from my Lalatam only, you came from my forehead only, you had your birth. So I know who you are. There is nothing to be afraid of. And he continues to say, Rodanat Rudranamapi yojitaha asi maya pura mameva sharanam yahi putra rakshang karomite. So what happened now? He's saying that I know who you are Rudra. You got the name Rudra because you were crying. And that name Rudra was given to you by me. So what should you do? Mameva sharanam yahi. Come, do sharanagati to me. I will protect you. This is what his words are. So there is a story behind this. I'll quickly go through it. A story inside a story now. So when Brahma was creating, before he created the Prajapatis, he had created Sanat Kumara, Sanaka, Sanandana, these 4. So they are supposed to beget children. They have to have children, and that's how Srishti was supposed to happen. But these four, Sanat Kumara, Sanaka and Sanandana, they were not interested in Laukika Vishaya. They were not interested in having children. They are great rishis, but they were not interested in having children. So now, because these four did not show any interest at all in the Srishti of the Jagat, because that is how, they have children and then their children, the Srishti has to go on like that, right? Because these four did not show any interest, Brahma became angry. The extent of his anger was so much that it could destroy the three worlds. And from his eyebrows, from the middle of his eyebrows, whenever we are angry, our eyebrows go a little curved, right? So when his anger went like that and his eyebrows curved, from the middle of his Bhalasthala, we just saw that shloka, right, where Brahma said, Bhalasthalat mama pura rudraha. So from that middle of the eyebrows, when it curved and in his anger, there was a big jyoti that came out that took the form of Rudra. And that from this Rudra, it split into 11. That is how we have Ekadasha Rudra. The story goes on like that. But here, when it came out first, when that form came out from the forehead of Brahma, that Rudra, before he got his name Rudra, he was crying. So Brahma gave him the name Rudra because in Sanskritam it comes from the root word Rud, to cry. So because he was crying, Brahma gave him the name Rudra. That is what he is mentioning now, coming back to this story where Brahma and Vishnu are arguing who is the highest. So he says, oh, I know, in that Jyoti, in the middle of the Jyoti, they see a Purusha Akriti. Brahma recognizes that is Rudra and goes on to insult more by saying, Mameva Sharanam Yahi, come, take Sharanagati under me and I will protect you. When these words of Brahma was said, what happened? Shiva is listening to this. What happened? Atheshwaraha, Atha Ishwaraha, Padmayonehe, Vachanam Shrutva. And how was that Vachanam? Garvavatim Giram Shrutva, Chukopa Ativa Chatada Kurvanniva Layan Mune, Sakopatas Samutpadya, Purusham Bhairavam Kvachit, Prajwalantam Su Mahasa Pritya Cha Parameshwaraha. Now Parameshwara, what he did after hearing the words of Brahma, Ativa Chukopa, he became very angry. So Shiva in his anger created a Purusha Bhairava, that was Prajwalantam Su Mahasa. It was blazing in great brilliance. And then Shiva spoke to that Purusha Bhairava, Pritya, lovingly. Parameshwara speaks. What does he say? Vishwam bhartum samarthosi bhishanat bhairavaha smritaha tatto bheshyati kalopi tatastvam kalabhairavaha yatah papani bhaktanam bhakshayishyasi tatkshanat papa bhakshana ityeva tavanama bhavishyati. So Maheshwara says, you will punish Brahma. You are samartha in punishing even that creator. And Bhishanat Bhairavaha, because of your terrible form. Bhairava means he has a very akrosha, terrible form. So because of that you will be called Bhairava, and even the Kala, that is Yamaraja, Dharmaraja will be scared of you. So you will be called Kala Rajaha, Kala Bhairavaha. Because of that you also will get the name Kala Bhairava, because that Kala, who is responsible for everyone's Anta, everyone's end, he will be scared of you. So you will get the name Kala Bhairava. Not only that, you will be, because you will eat the papam of all your bhaktas, you will be also called as Papa Bhakshana. Your name will also be called as Papa Bhakshana. Not only that, Yame Muktipuri Kashi Sarvabhyo hi Gariyasi Adhipatyam cha tasyaste Kalaraja Sadaivahi. You will also be called as Kalaraja, and you will have your adhikara over the Muktipuri, which we call Kashi Kshetram. You will have your adhikaram over that Kshetram. So after Maheshwara lovingly gave all these varam to KalaBhairava, Etan varan pragrhyatha takshanat KalaBhairavaha. After getting all these varam from Maheshwara, what did KalaBhairava do? Vamanguli nakhagrena chakartacha videshiraha. After having got all these varam from Maheshwara, KalaBhairava with his Vamanguli Nakhagrena, with the tip of the nails of his finger of his left hand, what did he do? Vidhehe Shiraha Chakarta. He cut off. Vidhehe means here Brahma. Vidhi means Brahma, another name. So Brahma's head was cut off by him just with a nakhagrena, with the tip of his nail. He cut Brahma's fifth head, because it was the fifth head that was talking in Garvam, right? So KalaBhairava in a kshanam cut off Brahma's fifth head with the tip of the nails of his finger of his left hand. Why they are saying very specifically about left hand is because it was effortless. I can get this done with my left hand. It's not my dominant hand, but I can do this. So he cut off Brahma's fifth head, because that was the head that insulted Shiva. Now on seeing Brahma's head cut off, now immediately what happened to Vishnu? Vishnu became scared. So he started chanting the Shatarudriya mantram of Shiva, and immediately followed by Brahma also started doing that japam, and they both realized that Shiva is the highest param satyam. I think while mentioning, I mentioned only 3 names: Sanat Kumara, Sanaka, Sanandana and Sanatana. I missed out one, so I wanted to mention it here. I will cut and send the part 2 introduction because it's not over yet. Thank you, Ram Ram.